a lyrical poem, a captivating monologue, a 15-chapter journey that explores the jungle that is men, love, masculinity, relationships, and identity. These are just a few self-descriptions of Emma Mary Hall's one-woman show Ode to Man, A Farewell to Men. Written and performed by Hall and directed by Prue Clarke, Ode to Man utilizes post-traumatic traits to describe one woman's experience with men and her attempt to understand the modern male. According to Lehman, post-traumatic theatre opposes the elements of dramatic theatre and focuses on the process of the performance rather than the product. Ode to Man draws on Hall's personal relationships with men, research, and anecdotal evidence of masculinity that has collected over time in an attempt to create a performance that allows the audience to reflect on their own personal experiences with men. Hall utilizes the post-traumatic principle of audience activation by generally addressing questions to those seated, by breaking away from the text to directly acknowledge a member's reaction to the content of the show. From chapter 1, Hall makes it evident that she is aware the audience exists within the space by greeting those seated and asking if anyone has experienced anything similar to what is being described. Ode to Man utilizes the blast theory that connects the text to the audience and gives them the opportunity to decide what they want to get out of the performance through the use of technology projected onto an informal stage. The use of intermediality throughout the performance allows Hall to emphasize significant chapters by using unique methods of projection that draw the audience attention and allow them to think. Hall and Clarke expose the seams of media projection by explicitly revealing the use of two screens pulled from the front of the stage, and another, in the disguise of a photo frame, to display images of men that are being referred to within the text. This is also an element of hypermediacy, as there is a recognition that the screens are being used on stage. Hall gestures, talks to, and watches the images, both still and moving, as though they are real within the performance. The use of film, displayed on the bare white walls of the set, brings life to the text and simplifies the similes of men given to Taylor in her research. Men are like horses, one man told her, and therefore she had a projection of a horse running displayed across the walls that was used to break down the description by relating the text to the image. The simple staging works as a canvas for the media and draws the attention of the audience in towards the performer, and more specifically, the projection of the chapter titles, quotes, images, and motion picture. Ode to Men as a performance for now. Today's society is constantly bombarded with unrealistic and unnatural expectations for both men and women. This is not a feminist play that addresses the hatred of men, but is, as described by Lloyd Markham, a sympathetic and stinging rebuke that raises questions and further discussion. In a world when gender identity is more fluid, men are less masculine, and modern living requires less physical grit and knowledge. Ode to Man discusses the changing expectations of men in the modern world and a desire to understand their role within society. Ode to Man's use of post-traumatic traits gives an interesting and insightful view of masculinity, love, relationships, and identity from a fresh perspective. Whilst Ode to Man is a post-traumatic theatre piece, there are elements of dramatic theatre that are displayed within the performance. According to Lehman's principles of post-traumatic theatre, text is a basic material only. Hall's performance is extremely text-heavy and relies on the contribution of the content to drive the performance. Hall's performance is it would be difficult to change this element as it is one-woman show, but moving forward, it could be interesting to see a more physical action to tell the story and interaction with the audience. Given the opportunity to provide feedback, and on the basis that this performance could be taken further, it would be a great value to incorporate the element of intersexuality further in an attempt to reach a wider demographic. To do this, Hall and Clarke would need to discuss the possibility of using an eclectic ensemble that consists of people from the LGBTQ community, different cultures, races, and more. This would layer the performance and provide the audience members with more content and understanding in an attempt to themselves understand the modern male. Emma Mary Hall's one-woman show, Ode to Man, A Farewell to Men, directed by Prue Clark, is a provocative and deeply insightful post-traumatic performance. The use of Lehman's principles serve the performance and provides the audience with a thought-provoking style on how to understand this modern male.